gozaimasu. First thing we do, breathe. Oh. Inspiration. Inspirate and suspirate. Because we know now from the vagus nerve show, the first show of the year, that the stimulates the vagus nerve, the O of Shakespeare, the O, this Om that people chant with. That sound, it sounds like Law and Order. That sound is health for you. Making that sound. And it's interesting how many people are afraid to make a sound, and especially by themselves. I think I started to say that in the vagus nerve show, is that people, when they came in late, they didn't want to make the oh, the ah by themselves. And it does take practice, actually, to be comfortable with the sound of your own voice. And certainly now it's different with all the technology and stuff. We're much more used to hearing it. But it's still something that takes a little adjustment. So, make that sound, hum, sing, or do a Shakespeare soliloquy. Nobody has to hear you. You can go to the privacy of your own room, your own car. Cars are good because you can yell and scream. If you yell and scream in your apartment, or people at the house next door might get upset or worried or not worried. And at any rate, you could disturb the peace. But in your car, that's one good thing about cars. And I was thinking about that line about the barbaric yop, which I think is in Dead Poets Society, which I thought was in GARP, and was looking up all these GARP quotes last night, but it's from a Walt Whitman poem. But make your barbaric yop, or your O. The O from the line of the week is all one, and the O, the ring symbol, symbolizes that, and the globe, and the world, and the planet, and the spiral that we're all living, the divine spiral, if you will. I remember hearing Liev Schreiber, after he played Hamlet, saying, everybody should play Hamlet, because what you learn about yourself and the world is amazing. It doesn't mean everybody needs to come and see you play Hamlet, but everybody should play it. And I loved that. So, and also the reason people don't want to make their own sound or do a soliloquy or like that is because you immediately jump in with the criticism. Oh, that's not good. But nobody's around to criticize but you. And if you are criticizing yourself, stop it. Don't be dragging on yourself. It's no good, right? Quit it. Stop it now. It's the ego trying to keep control of you. And a lot of Shakespeare is about sovereignty. Keeping your own sovereignty. We've talked about the speech from Richard II before, where he gives his own power away. We give our own sovereignty away to other people trying to fit in to societal norms. Find your voice. Find your breath. It's actually perfect for what we're doing today, which is the Garlic and Parsley Show. And I actually am hearing the some sort of 50s music, seeing sort of June Cleaver. And that kind of couple as garlic and parsley. I don't know who's the garlic and who's the parsley. And I was going to make, because we're talking about garlic and parsley, the lines about garlic tend to be all about bad breath in Shakespeare. And especially the famous one from Midsummer Night's Dream is, most dear actors eat no onions or garlic, for we are to utter sweet breath. And there's another one about Hotspur, I think, would rather be shut up in a windmill with garlic and brown bread. And there's all of these things are about. Oh, there's a funny one in Winter's Tale that Dorcas says about sweetening Mopsa's breath with garlic for kissing, which means it's pretty bad if garlic is going to make her breath better. So, what do you do about bad breath? This is what you do about bad breath. parsley. This is a big bunch of flat leaf parsley from Whole Foods. I didn't have it at the farmer's market. And, oh, I forgot our crush and sniff. So here, you know, honestly, there's not much smell to parsley, so you can't really use parsley as a crush and sniff. And I'm not going to recommend rosemary today. I brought mint because this week we need to be soothed and refreshed. And this is a good week, and why the line of the week is not about garlic. It's about peace. It's going to be about peace. And so I'm saying crush and sniff. My mint got a little floppy, you can see there. And as I say, just like breathing, drinking pure water. So I put it in water. And then you crush and sniff your mint because you want to crush it to open up the essential oils, to access the essential oils. So mint is a great one for refreshing and soothing the system. And I was reading all these articles this week about peppermint oil, refreshing the brain, refreshing the system. Deep breaths refresh the organ, and the organs, and you're adding another element to help refresh. But it is also, even though it's stimulating, it's a little calming, and it's good if you haven't slept to wake you up, but not in a strong stimulant way like rosemary would be. The other thing that if you don't have lemon balm, there was no lemon balm in the patch where I usually forage it from, you can use essential oils for mint. Lemon balm is in the mint family that we learned from Hannah. And so those are the kinds of things that you want to refresh the system with. Keep yourself calm and easy this week, especially if you're in the United States. Centered. Find the breath. Find the O. The O helps the vagus nerve. The sound helps the vagus nerve. Humming, singing, healing music. I looked through Shakespeare to see if he addressed the healing music aspect. And of course, there's If Music Be the Food of Love, play on. And Orsino is feeling sad, but he wants to keep feeling sad. But the other one is Romeo and Juliet, where after Juliet has supposedly died, and Peter says, "Oh," he uses the O, musicians, heart's ease, which is also a pansy, but here he's talking about the song Heart's Ease. And you will have me live, play Heart's Ease. He's talking about the healing power of music. So I said, sing, hum, chant, om, recite a soliloquy. So the thing about parsley, before we bring the beloved and delightful Hannah Sylvester, medical herbalist in Lincolnshire, on, is the reason that you eat parsley after onions and garlic is because it's filled with chlorophyll. And the reason that you get these tiny wilted little pieces on your plate at a restaurant is because you're supposed to eat it. Now, if you can't get a thing of fresh parsley, look, I got a green drink, and the last ingredient is parsley. Right? And so that helps you wake you up. Oh, I better have some more. If you had jet lag, what's jet lag? Who's traveling? If you're tired and have stayed up and pulled an all-nighter, you need parsley, you need chlorophyll, you need green juice. If you don't want coffee, if you don't drink coffee, if you don't have coffee like Shakespeare didn't, this is another liquid chlorophyll. And you just put it in a glass of water, which is great for you, and that's good, but you can put the chlorophyll in. It looks a little bit like something out of the Addams family, very green as it floats up. This is my John D. stars and Saturn rings glass. And you actually want, I don't have a stirrer, but this is minty because it refreshes the system. So you can take chlorophyll, also comes in tablets. And so there's all kinds of ways you can get your parsley. And parsley was also a big model trick for getting skinny in one day. It was like the 1 day diet where you eat parsley. It's fibrous, but also the chlorophyll helps carry fat out of the bloodstream. So we're kind of going backwards. We're doing parsley before garlic, but we're going to bring Hannah on. Good afternoon. Ohio gozaimasu. All right. So, how are you? How are you this fine Sunday afternoon in England and morning for me in Washington, D.C.?
Good. It's a little bit warmer than it has been. We've had snow here this week, which has been really nice.
Oh my God!
Just
yes,
a bit, but just enough.
Go see Hannah's Instagram feed. She has a beautiful picture of a tree with a little frost. And are those sheep in there?
Yeah. Do you know what? I actually couldn't tell they were sheep because that tree is actually quite a long way away. So I was zoomed in really far, and because it was really foggy and really misty, I thought maybe they'd done some, I don't know, some baling or something in the field. So because they just look like these little sort of round balls, and then I thought, okay, they're sheep.
Okay. Well, there's certainly a lot of sheep in Shakespeare. So, do you want to start with garlic?
Yeah, let's start with garlic.
You know, you recognize it in the raw. It adds so much delicious flavor. I got some garlic and caper. Caper is also in Shakespeare in 12th Night, olive tapenade, and all those in Shakespeare. So I try to, fill my diet with Shakespeare stuff. But let's hear about how garlic can heal you as well.
Garlic's amazing, really. It's so first things first. So when you crush garlic, it smells. Okay. So this is the really, really important thing about garlic, is that we actually need to crush it and chop it. So when you crush garlic or chop it and you leave it exposed to the air, and I've written down these words because there are 3 words and they're quite similar and I sometimes get them mixed up. So there's one of the volatile oils in garlic is allium. And when it's exposed to the air, there's an enzyme called allinase, and that converts it into allicin. And it's the allicin that has the really, really good effect on our bodies. So what you want to do is, when you've chopped your garlic, don't put it in your food straight away. Leave it for about 5 or 10 minutes. Let it get properly exposed to the air, and then put it in. And then you'll get much more benefit from it.
Oh, that's fascinating. That must be why they call the beautiful ball flower that grows out of, that's onion. That's onion, but it must be in the same family because allium is.
So garlic is allium sativum, and it's part of the lily family. It's part of the Liliaceae family, but onion's also part of the same family. So, it's the same genus as onion. So with your garlic, what you can do is you can obviously eat it. So, put as much garlic as you want to into your food. It's great. And use real garlic. Don't use garlic powder. Use real garlic. Or we were talking about honey last week, weren't we? So you can actually do a really nice garlic honey using the same kind of method, but heating it up. That's lovely. Or if you really, really want to get brave, you can do something that I tried about 5 or 6 years ago when I was working on a first aid crew at a festival. And the very, very first day was like a trainer refreshing kind of day. And I woke up with the most horrendous, stinking, blocked cold. And I thought, oh no, there is no way I'm going to get through a whole day of training on this. And lo and behold, one of my friends brought me a cup of garlic tea.
Garlic tea.
Okay.
And does that taste savory, or did you put the garlic honey in it, or honey to kind of give you that flavor? How did you?
There was a little bit of honey in it, but it was basically 3 cloves of garlic crushed with a knife with boiling hot water poured on top of it. I couldn't really taste anything anyway. So the nice things about garlic is it's a really fantastic decongestant. So, for the common cold, when we get, really bunged up kind of snotty noses, garlic is great. So that's when we can, if you're brave enough to have garlic tea, then yeah, you can go for that. But you can just as equally make some garlic honey as well, which is one of the things that it does. So
Well, I had an ex-boyfriend who used to eat a clove of garlic a day as a preventative measure for getting colds. And that's not why we broke up. He could have had the parsley or the chlorophyll that I was just talking about. But I had bought, in addition to the garlic and caper tapenade, I had bought this roasted garlic and parsley mashed potatoes. And I'm trying not to have any starch for the month of January, but this was for research purposes for this show. And so I ate it all, which is happening to show you. But of course it's delicious. But when you eat it raw, it does come out your pores. So some people take garlic supplements, which you can do, or you can just have a parsley chaser, if you will. And I was saying that last night, the parse that refreshes. Now, if anybody remembers what little tagline for what product that was, put it in the comments. I'd love to see if you know. And it is a little pun, but if you're steeped in Shakespeare, I don't know why people always say, excuse the pun. Enjoy the pun. Have fun with the pun. Because, that means your brain synapses are firing. That means you're connecting. So the garlic, yes, you can eat a clove raw to do exactly what you're saying, or make it in tea again, I guess. I've never tried that. I am going to try the honey. But roasted garlic, and they're these little terracotta things I've never had. Have you ever had just plain roasted garlic? They almost taste like candy. Yeah, they have a candy-like taste, like caramelized onion. Similar situation, and they're delicious. Absolutely delicious. And so I often, if I'm not having sweets, or if I'm not, I will just make the roasted garlic cloves as a treat, to be honest. Nobody's around, and I have my parsley anyway, and my chlorophyll. And the other thing is, there's a great recipe called chicken with 40 cloves. So there's all kinds of recipes where you can get your garlic in. So is it cleaning the blood? What is it actually? What is the what was the word? The second word you used?
So in terms of kind of the extra kind of effects that it has, so garlic is very, very stimulating. It's really pungent. It's hot. So it's why a lot of people can't tolerate garlic, because constitutionally they're hot anyway. So it's stimulating, and it also stimulates the immune system too. But the other really, really fantastic, one of the many fantastic benefits of garlic is its heart health benefits. So it helps to reduce the cholesterol and helps to reduce blood fats. And it's a really, as a kind of as a herb, and well, herbs loosely, but as a medicinal plant to use, it's too good not to use.
It's a super herb. You should get my biceps in there. It's like, it's a super herb. And what about parsley? Do you have anything? I mean, I've jabbered on a lot about parsley this morning, but do you?
Well, it's not something that it's actually not something that gets used an awful lot medicinally, strangely. It certainly has historical uses, and we do use it a little bit in herbal medicine. And it's, obviously, you've already spoken about the the onion breath aspect of it, but it has a couple of really useful actions in that it's diuretic. So parsley can help to, in cases where people have fluid retention, it can help to reduce that. So I think maybe when you were speaking earlier about that sort of, those kind of old-fashioned weight loss things, it's probably from a kind of, reducing excess fluid in the body. And it also is a really good what's called an anti-spasmodic, so it stops spasming in the body. So you can use it for things like period pains, or if people have got sort of really spasmodic painful sort of urinary problems, that kind of thing. And then Additionally, the other great benefit of parsley is that it's basically, parsley is something it's called a carminative, and carminative means that it helps to reduce wind and bloating. So it's something that, as part of your diet, particularly if you're eating, really rich food that's really hard to digest, then having a bit of parsley can perhaps make the after effects a little bit less smelly.
Right, and all of that stuff makes sense why you get this little piece of parsley, this knowledge that we forgot about, and people think, oh, it's just a bit of texture or greenness, and nobody eats the parsley on the plate, but it is there for a reason. It exists for a reason, and it is why, these two are a lovely couple. What I chose for the line of the week, this is from Petruchio, and some people have issues with Petruchio and Taming of the Shrew. Peace it bodes, and love and quiet life, and awful rule, and that means full of awe as opposed to bad, and that's another whole subject is word journeys, and right supremacy, and to be short, whatnot, that's sweet and happy. So, in addition to finding ways to heal yourself this week and stave off winter colds and flu with garlic and parsley and various things like that, you also want to soothe yourself, keep calm, carry on, fill up your heart, fill up your mind, fill up your body with things that heal you. One of the things I realized last night is Shakespeare is self-care. It really is. So, Hannah, I'm always so grateful that you take the time to come on and share your expertise. And hopefully we will see you next week.
Okay, next week.